They called it the Ship of Dreams. The RMS Titanic wasn't just a vessel. It was the crown jewel of a new age. Built by the White Star Line, she stretched nearly 900 feet long, with grand staircases, gold-trimmed dining rooms, and engines powerful enough to cross the Atlantic in record time. People believed she was untouchable. Newspapers called her unsinkable, and her captain, Edward Smith, reportedly said he couldn't imagine any disaster that would bring her down. But behind the luxury and the confidence, something dangerous was growing. Complacency. Titanic carried fewer lifeboats than passengers, because no one expected to use them. She sailed full speed through iceberg warnings, because every hour counted for reputation. It wasn't arrogance in one person. It was faith in human perfection. The world wanted a symbol that nothing could break, and the Titanic gave them that illusion, until the night the illusion met reality. The voyage began calm, almost too calm. The sea that night was glass. No waves, no wind, no moonlight. It looked peaceful, but it made spotting danger nearly impossible. Throughout the day, 6 iceberg warnings came in by radio, each one clear, each one ignored or delayed. The wireless operators were busy sending messages for first-class passengers instead. Up in the crow's nest, the lookouts scanned the horizon, without binoculars. They'd been locked away by mistake. At 11:40 p.m., a dark shape emerged from the stillness. The warning bell rang 3 times. The ship turned, but too late. Steel met ice. The impact barely jolted the passengers, but below deck, seawater began to flood the compartments that were supposed to be watertight. They weren't. It was a chain reaction no one could stop. A ship built to defy nature was being undone by it. But what if, at that very moment, one tiny decision had changed everything? What if the iceberg had never been struck? That's where history and imagination start to drift apart. Imagine that moment again. 11:40 p.m., a shadow on the water. But this time, the lookout spotted seconds earlier. A quick shout, a sharp turn, and the Titanic glides safely past the iceberg that was meant to destroy her. The passengers never know how close they came. Laughter returns to the decks. The orchestra keeps playing. And in the captain's cabin, relief replaces fear. The unsinkable legend lives on. The headlines the next morning praise human skill, not luck. They call it a near miracle of navigation, proof that technology and courage can outsmart nature itself. And as the ship continues toward New York, no one realizes that by surviving, Titanic may have sealed a very different fate. For the world, for safety, and for every ocean voyage that followed. Because without tragedy, there are no lessons, and what comes next might have changed everything. The morning sun rises over New York Harbor. The Titanic glides in, flawless and proud, its hull untouched, its passengers cheering. Reporters flood the docks, cameras flash, the headlines explode. World's greatest ship conquers the Atlantic. White Star Line becomes unstoppable. Bookings skyrocket. Every nation rushes to build something bigger, faster, more luxurious. The message is clear. Human innovation has beaten the sea. But beneath the celebration hides a dangerous illusion. Because no one died, no one asks hard questions. No one talks about ignored warnings, missing binoculars, or lifeboats that were too few. Those flaws remain buried under champagne and praise. Without a disaster to expose them, safety regulations stay the same for years. Maritime laws go untouched. Complacency deepens. Every new ship carries the same hidden cracks in its confidence. Titanic's survival wouldn't have ended risk. It would have disguised it. And the world would learn that truth much later, in a way far more devastating. Years pass. The Titanic's legend only grows. She's remembered as proof that human engineering can't fail, a floating monument to progress and pride. Other companies follow the formula. Ships become larger, faster, more extravagant. But beneath the luxury lies the same blind faith. Without the lessons of loss, the sea remains underestimated. No international ice patrols, no reforms in lifeboat capacity, no urgent calls for safety drills. The same small mistakes are repeated over and over. By the 1920s, passenger liners dominate global travel. The ocean feels tamed, but that confidence is an illusion. Because in this alternate timeline, the Titanic didn't teach the world humility. It taught the world denial. And somewhere out there, a future ship sails too fast, ignores a warning, and meets the fate the Titanic escaped. A disaster born not from nature, but from forgetting what almost happened. Here's the irony. Titanic's survival might not have saved lives. It might have cost more in the long run. Because if the ship had arrived safely, nothing would have changed.